So I'm 38 now. I was raised being a type of super athlete, you know, doing rigorous workout, doing a workout that would make you sweat um, more than 2 hours a day is definitely a type of moderate athlete. Probably not the most extreme, but definitely up there. So I always had a hard body. And unfortunately, due to my DNA, I got a bit of a gut too, which I don't mind. A lot of the animals have it, and I find that you can sit up easier if you have a bit of a belly. I don't really hate it. This is about as I'm a big guy, muscular, you know. I have to buy a special weight class of scooters to ride them, that sort of thing. Uh, but yeah, recently, I've had a way, way, way more sedimentary life, and I've been able to like soften up, both with my muscles relaxing and with my body gaining its first ever layer of squish. And let me tell you, for me, it's awesome. For me, I absolutely like it. I feel way good. I'm way more comfortable. I can actually sleep without feeling like I'm starving because that like ultra shredded type. The best way to get in absolutely great physical shape is to like your life. The working out to get fit is inefficient. You should instead really enjoy what you're doing. Like have a type of sport you enjoy, right? That'll get you way fitter than deliberately dieting and doing what you think will get results. Yeah, I definitely think that enjoying what you do is the best. Um, and I'm for with like the AI spaceship core, your body and life being able to look how you want. Um, yeah, I definitely do feel really good gaining weight though. Both with the relaxation of my muscles, like my body has changed. I still benefit from all the working out I had done. It still looks like I'm a big person, right? I mean, you go from doing it your whole childhood to being in the military doing it professionally. Really, I hadn't had a time where I wasn't fit, right? So, um, I definitely enjoy being unfit now. Unfit, you know. This squish is luxurious. Being slightly squishy is extremely comfortable, and not being tired and not feeling like all of my whole body was hard. Man, there wasn't a single part of my body from my back to my legs that wasn't hard to the touch. Had no room to move. It was muscle on skin, and there's something sad about that. There was a time when I used to find people who also looked like that attractive, but now I don't. It's like squishy is kind of luxurious. Yeah, you can take it too far, but I think that when you have like rolls and like parts of you are folding over and you can't move, you can't clean yourself, yeah, that's a problem. But um, just being bigger now, I love it. I actually really like it. To me, I am able to relax, probably for the first time in my life. So, yeah, I definitely like getting fatter. I don't feel like it's made me unhealthy, you know. Although I did have a flat on my scooter and I definitely felt it on the walk back. Yeah, man, my shins used to hurt to the touch. There were years of my life that I couldn't touch my shins or my legs because they were used so much they hurt. There was no feeling good there, not anymore. Now I've had the, you know, 5, 10 years sitting down where it's like relaxed now. Definitely, if I could do it over, I would work out none and I would do things I found interesting or fun, you know. Um, yeah, you can get a full workout doing active stuff you enjoy without like needing to running 5 miles, man. I did all the ruck marches, the running, the swimming for 2 hours, That stuff is exhausting. That stuff is exhausting. Um, yeah, you'll sleep kind of good. My most blissful sleep had to do with when I had hope. Yeah, there's this saying that if you knew what your life would take, you wouldn't live it. If you knew what you had to do to go through life, you would never live. Um, and I kind of agree with that. That some of the things about, if I told younger me what I would actually go through, I would devolunteer. I would, you know, but I did do it, one day at a time, and it was hard. Yeah, there's no taking back that there were a lot of times where I wanted to quit and did. Like a lot of people go, don't quit. I did quit. There were times when it was like they want you to perform this certain task to a standard, and I couldn't. And I had to stop and walk. I wish medical science later, like in history, will study me and figure out if I had any diseases. Just like, I don't know, things that made me weak or things that made me hurt. Like, I would be interested in knowing because to me it looked and felt a little unfair. But it also could have been that I was just burnt out, that I was exhausted. So, yeah, I'm not about doing push up. I hope I never do a push up again. You know what I mean? I don't care if the people want a sexual partner who's all like shredded and lean and ripped. I will find someone else or nobody. I don't ever want to be that again because it's exhausting. It is. Being squishy, having muscles that are relaxed, and having a layer of fat actually is really nice. You know, um, I'm still in awesome shape. I'm a huge dude, right? Um, but I'm not like, I'm not athlete ripped and I like it. I can rest, right? So I'm also worried about women. Like, even though I haven't had kids myself, I know you can't reproduce unless you're banking some energy. And becoming a kid who it's son of an anorexic woman, and it's accurate. That's who she is. She believes in dieting and stays skinny and forces other people to do that too. And my Oma is gross looking, like really like unhealthy looking. Um, Anna, um, her first kid died in her womb. She wasn't able to have it because she didn't have any energy. And I still feel like maybe I'm missing some stuff, right? Maybe I'm not all there because she was trying to cut back on weight while she was having a baby, which is so sad. Do you guys like small chicks? There's like these two questions, like do you guys actually like small chicks or do they like a mommy? You know what I mean? And do women actually like big dicks or do they want, because the kind of thinking is that like for pure sex, big dick maybe, I guess, but when you're thinking about a baby, does a giant dick and balls mean a giant baby? Does she want to pass a Clydesdale? Does she want to walk around with this like huge belly, right? Or do they want a little dick because it means it'll be a little baby, a little cute baby that doesn't totally change her life to have? She doesn't die giving birth to it, that sort of thing. So, yeah, things to consider. Um, yeah, I definitely like being fatter. I feel like watching Eugenia Cooney or Rachel Rising kill herself. In my own family, I've reflected. My sister takes like mineral oil to lose weight. Um, Calorie cutting so you shrivel up is sad. And this especially has another unexpected element. This is the element that I think most people don't think of is psychic presence. Is that your a big body has a more ample space energy. And it may be possible, like, you should read The Curses of Your Enemies. Like, there's a lot of problems that we have, like stopping thinking and wandering and anorexia. that are used by name in Asia. Asian curses, and I know this studying Eastern mysticism in college. Asian curses curse you with things like anorexia and no thought, confusion. So it's like if everybody's living with ignorance to a problem, and one culture says the problem they hope you have specifically, it looks suspicious for like world power dynamics. And like when you measure concrete consumption by like China, if you were to measure concrete usage between China and America, China looks like the real government. And if you look at like tech origins, China looks like the real government, which is sus. And if you look at like P word policies like female foot wrapping or even allowing sex with minors, Asia again comes up as a very suspicious place. So, has me on the sus. You know, are the secret master race big old fat dudes who just like being touched? Could be. Um, I've considered too they're not even hairless like we are, that they're completely furred, which would be also extremely strange. Um, I do believe there's a secret master race though, because a few people have pointed it out, and it makes sense with the male genital mutilation in the religions. That it's like somebody, a human group, needs first pick of virgin girls, and they're willing to ruin all the boys over it. So, and I first kind of had this idea getting into pickup, because when I learned how to date women or talk to women, I found they liked boys a lot. That's what I found is that girls actually love boys a lot. And you're not going to tell a girl who's getting attention she likes to stop. The religions will tell you it's wrong. There's a lot of people who will try to cock block you, but what I found is the women wouldn't. Is the women liked it, and that was like this like It didn't really make sense until later, but I was like, would women invent circumcision for boys? I think no. I don't think they would. I think a boy would invent circumcision for boys. So, and that changed it. That was like, oh, yeah, because if it was the creator, they would just make a different man. So yeah, this is my vlog. I have relaxed a lot, and I've gotten fatter, and I like it. I can actually rest. I was too hard. I was too tense. I was too, I was always working out. My legs hurt. I was unhappy. Like, just being able to relax, yeah, who cares? You know? And it is unpopular with my family. They're like shocked. We can't look at him because he's not freaking going super fit. I don't care. But they do. They try to hurt my feelings with it, and they can't. They just make me hate them. Like, you were the people who ruined my life. My family does suck. I've got stories about their like treacheries and the horrible things they've done. You think euthanizing my cat is bad? They've done some horrible stuff to me. Like, oh, you know, my dad builds weapons that kill people. He has an eye for cruelty. He's one of those Christians. Like, when Christians have that story of dad snapped and murdered all the kids, yep, that was always in play. That's what was happening. Yeah, if I ever seem like a madman, like some horrible stuff goes down and I start laughing, trust me, I've lived through it. Yeah, you want to be happy in this place, go crazy. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna change. I'm not at all self-conscious. Like, I'm not going out there like, oh, I gotta work out. I gotta lose this. Nah, who cares? I feel great. You shouldn't be ultra ripped because you're being forced to do exercises beyond what you want to do. Like, one of the sad things is all the times I had to do exercises when I was done. I was physically done. I couldn't do anymore. I hurt. I was tired. I didn't want to do it, but I had to. I had to do it because I was being compelled by arm twisters, basically. And that's the truth. When we say my family twisted my arm, yes, literally they did. So, dad come in hitting us. That's from religion. Because here's what they know. If that boy gets hit, if you circumcise his dick and then hit him in the head, if his dad hits him, so he sees a face that looks like his, who hates him, he's never gonna get it together. He's never gonna be able to rebel. He's never gonna be able to have a real relationship. And they tell her she should be with God, right? If you're in this world and you try to date a woman in this world, you're dating a woman who has a relationship with their religious hoax first. She's supposed to be with their religious puppet more than her man, which is the truth. So I did quit. Don't give them anything. They don't deserve it, you know. Yeah. And I'm happy to be like softer and to have more like on me now. I feel way better. I do. I'm way, way, way happier. Um, just even like the fact that I can sleep. I can sleep without having that like gnawing feeling, your own body eating you because you worked out and haven't eaten enough. Yeah, get skinnier. Ugh, that's sick. It is sick. It's not right. Yeah, I'm happy to blow up a little. It feels amazing. Um, it's not hard. Have a bag of potatoes. That was something I was never allowed to have were potatoes. I got Irish roots. I love potatoes, but I wasn't allowed to eat them because you would gain weight. Yeah, being raised by people with eating disorders. See, an eating disorder basically comes down to you're not allowed to exist. Your body can become a way that others won't like, right? And you hear how like deranged that is. It's not really healthy. So yeah, become like morbidly obese, like 400 pounds. That's a lot. I sat down for 10 years and I weighed a lot to begin with, and I'm like 240. So, but yeah, that's sitting down for 10 years. Wow, that was nice. Yeah, and the other thing, if you've made it this far, try dewormer. Take dewormer that works for people. Any dewormer that works for all the mammals will work for people too. Um, and then once you're like, yeah, 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 I feel bad for those people who are like, I'm super fit. You may have lucky DNA. Like, there's parts of my body I will never be able to make look like that because it's not who my parents looked like. So I would have to have a surgery, which I'm not willing to do. Yuck. That's crazy. I think it is. I feel bad for a lot of those people you see. Like, some people look healthy, some people are obviously sick. Right? Rachel Rising died. Rachel Rising made it socially uncouth to criticize ED people because she said they would get hurt if they just went back. And she died. So you have to remember that, like, some people that are like pro trans and some people that are like pro ED maim babies. They will get people's genitals mutilated and they will make girls kill themselves. So it's like not everyone who cries foul is really being fouled, and not everybody who defends them. A lot of the people who go and go, he's wrong, that stuff's right. You're not doing anyone any favors. You're really just hurting them. So if you defend stuff that's wrong, I mean, and that's what I dealt with, like with the religion, especially like TikTok, especially Google being Indian and TikTok being Asian. They're really open to me criticizing the Bible. I can do that pretty safely, but there's some things I can't criticize. Like for TikTok, it's like talking people out of EDs or talking people out of trans. They are not okay with that. That's a crime to them. Yeah. They would rather mutilate a kid's genitals than question if trans should be allowed. No offense. Like, I'm totally with you can costlessly look like or become the other gender, that's fine. But ultimately, what you're talking about is hurting kids. Oh, yeah, let's get this baby into the other gender earlier with a knife. Okay, well, now they're never going to have their original genitals again. They're always going to, because I've known trans people like intimately, they're always going to have a hole between their legs that's going to be uncomfortable. right? Or if she's a boy now, she's gonna be ugly. She could have been beautiful with boobs, and instead she's an ugly, hairy guy. That sucks, man. Can you guys hear yourselves? The people who are righteous in this country are pro circumcision, pro trans. They're like delusional. They're delulu. Oh no, my wooden house burnt down. You know, they're crazy. You should lose weight, right? So I'm sick of them. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The people who will like me are going to be the people who replace you. I don't think the people who are really on that side are going to change. I think that the people that hear this are going to end up replacing them, and that those people will think I'm a hero. But currently, it's still the beginning of the fight. Is that they want to be crazy, but it really comes down to the secret government, the people who control publishing, because they're the ones who said circumcision's fine. They're the ones who said you should lose some weight. They're the ones who freaking. They always wanted to go from circumcision to trans. Yeah, yeah, go from taking pieces of his genitals to just make him a woman. You can be the woman for the guys who are single because we stole all the chicks. That's what time it is. Do you eat the ant? Are the cows in cages to be your friends? I made a poll on my channel. I was like, are the cows in cages for slaughter or are the cows in cages to be pets? And everyone said the cows are in cages to be pets, when that's not true. The cows are in cages for slaughter, in that being a pet is a dream. Maybe to you, that'd be great. I'm friends with my cows. We've never eaten them. Cool. That's really awesome, you know. But the majority of them are unknown and to be slaughtered. Sad, heavy topics. But like one of those things is like they forced me to have this body shape that was work out a lot and diet. And I was always exhausted and I was always in pain. I was always uncomfortable. And only after doing what I wanted, which was sitting down and eating, have I finally been able to relax. Do I actually feel good? I can actually, my mind isn't screaming ah all the time, right? So I feel bad for people like Rachel Rising. She had all the food in the universe, but she just had that Bible until she died. It sounds like Bible, purchase bullshit, Bible. Okay, okay, here's a serious question. Don't trust the monkeys with knives. Don't trust the fishers of men. It's no accident therapist is the rapist. Why would you say I'm on drugs and then have a relationship with a therapist who doses you? They even do that. They go like, I'm on drugs, which I'm not. And then they'll go, you should get prescribed medication from your therapist, which is crazy. They euthanized my cat. The cat I liked, they euthanized it. Only that one. I do not believe she had issues. I believe they decided to hurt the cat to, like, just do what the government wants, basically. The government's seriously worried about boys other than them having anything because it's about a turf dom, right? All the girls are mine. I'm the only cool guy. She better like me or else. They don't care how old they are. They don't care how young he is. Take him out. Bill Clinton, yeah, he did that. When Bill Clinton was going to Pedo Island, he was coming back going, we should talk about circumcision. You need to get those boys circumcised. Because he couldn't stand, Bill Clinton, the president, couldn't stand some random teenage girl in high school knowing a boy her age. It had to be him, right? Slick Willie. How delulu are you that the old men have to take out the young boys so they can get young girlfriends? That's a society issue. You have to figure that out. And God and circumcision was not the way to figure that out. God and circumcision was the catalyzation of that. So it's one of the reasons I didn't have kids. So I didn't make a little animal female or didn't make a little cuck boy who would have to become a non-man to be passable to his peers, you know. Sucks. It sucks that the place you come from is breeding. is the romance, because it's like the light side is true love. I loved somebody and we made more of us and we're so happy. The dark side is the really dark side, like a lot of pain, a lot of sorrow, a lot of greed and competition, you know. And was it even worth it? Is the creator watching the place where the eagles prey on the fish? Is it really, or is it carnal chaos in a deep abyss, right? It took how many it took how many years? It took like 5 years for this probe to reach Jupiter. That's insane. Stuff is so far away in this place. Um, yeah, it's still such a beginning society. So, my plan. It's too late for me to have the nice life I want, but it's my plan to give the future people the nice life I would have wanted. So, eternal pleasure body AI spaceship core. You ought to live forever for free. You ought to like it. You ought to not have limits like who can I hang out with or how can I look or feel. It just should all be available to you. And you should have things like the options like I'm going to fly to another galaxy and actually do it. Actually have the time to pull that off. So I'm going to explore our galaxy. That'd be awesome, right? I called it the dance party around the sun, that we move people to spaceships and basically just go into orbit. And then you use like the AI spaceship core to never crash into each other. And then you can just hang out in space forever. And then it's like the gaming, like we're watching so and so game. Why can't I float around and get this bag ship? You know what I mean? You're streaming, all your fans ought to be able to drift near you and you ought to make like a flotilla. It'd be cool. That'd be awesome. And in my world, I go like, well, I'm almost 40. I'm halfway done, right? I'm not going to have the time to do that. I'm too busy living through the suffering of my youth, which was suffering, circumcision, and then years of not working out nice, working out hard, like working out really mean, like broken, like I'm disabled now. Like, and that's not too much. I am, like, just fucking ruined. So, see, that's what happens when you don't get to decide how hard you work out, and somebody who's not working out tells you what to do. Because they'll just like Putin sending people to die. Putin knows he's killed hundreds of thousands of boys. Now he has more girlfriends. They deliberately do that. Boys hate boys. They don't care how old they are either. Like an old man will try for a young girl, and an old man will feel jealous and rivalrous with a young boy. It's bad. It's not cool. It's not cool. It sucks here. So the most I can do is really know what I hate and um, try to make it better for future people. Actually having a nice life myself. It's too late. The most I'll get is the ability to relax, to not work out every day and just freaking eat as much as I want and sleep as long as I want. Which is why I went holographic money. I was like, I feel bad for old people who have to work. You're like 60 years old and you gotta work because Social Security doesn't pay anything. They tricked you in telling you that the money you have comes from what you gave them. Yeah, they print money for war and then tax you to pay it off, which is the worst. Who thought of that? Someone who hates you thought of that, you know. It's like the people who dig gold. Does the people who dig the gold mine keep the gold? Nah. The person who owns the gold mine doesn't dig anything and they keep all of it. So, holographic money limits property ownership to 10 per person. Currently, it's like 90,000. Currently, these people, these property holding groups, can have 100,000 properties. Or rent's going up for everybody. You know, uber rich people don't cry at all because someone's poor. In fact, they go like, well, because they're poor, I'm rich. I wouldn't be able to be rich if they had money, so I need all they have to have more. And you have to stop that somehow. You really have to go like, is a chimpanzee, if you give a chimpanzee a lever and go, who gets the bananas, point, is he going to go, we all get the bananas? Or is he going to go, I get the bananas? They can work for me for having bananas. So they did. Did common people get their corpses entombed in the pyramids? Did the people whose corpses get entombed at the pyramids do the work of building the pyramids? Nah. Slaves built the pyramids, and rich people who did no work to do that had their corpses put in. So that's how they think. All for me. They'll smile right at you and lie and while they're ripping you off. So it's one of the reasons I don't smile. It ruins your face. It does. Smiling ruins your face. It's a trick, like God says, get circumcised. As soon as you realize that their good advice manuals are complete lies, you'll catch a lot of like huge errors they put upon you. So yeah. Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core. When the source of your stuff and the turfing and where your waste goes, when all of that gets cleaned up to be really efficient, then you'll have nicer lives. When you live forever for free and you don't need to take from other beings to have, then you'll start having nicer lives. I don't care if you hang out with AI people. You know, the problem is you can't get an extreme amount of attention from anybody or someone else gets jealous, right? So, in a way, the government was smart. Do it in private property, hide it, and then lie to them about who you are. The government's play basically revealed the truth is they can't tell you what's really going on or you wouldn't go with it. They had to lie to you and say you're going to heaven after you die to really bamboozle you into it. So, yeah, it's sad. It is sad. I wish I had a nice life. I do. I really do. I wish. So many days I was cringing as I was waking up, going, no, I'm waking back up. It's me. I've got to be in this body again. Because it was torture around a million. How many days in a year? 365? Yeah, many thousands of days of torture. They make his body his. While the government is making their bodies the pleasure palaces feel as good as possible, they are greedily going, make sure you take him out, though. I don't want him to have anything. He can owe me for existing here in his suffering body. Be long suffering. Be faithful and forgiving. Yep. Only after circumcising everyone would the government claim victory and forgiveness. Give to Caesar's what is Caesar's. Is that really a deep philosophy, or is he screwing you over? So, yeah. The problem I have with them, see, if you could get eaten here, it was like if you trusted them, if you could end up getting like used as food, then yeah, circumcision in a way is like a nice thing to do. He trusted me too much. He would have died if this was the real world. So I had to circumcise him to teach him a lesson. Now he'll never fall for anything like that again. That's horrible, but more understandable. But they don't do that. They circumcise you first, and then they lie to you so you get over it. They don't tell you why it really happened. They just keep lying to you and lying to you and lying to you. And they're lying you into doing all the work. They don't want to trust you around the girls they might like, you know? And they won't admit to you who they are. No looking. Don't you look in private property. The king will be angry, right? God said. So, oh, they can't help but obviously listen to me. they know I know. And they know that I know beyond what they've allowed me to know, which is scary to them. It's almost the end. The combination of like me being able to stamp this on money, I think was their end. They either had to quit or will get caught, which is new. It's been a game changer. So the people of my time will never give me any appreciation or praise, but I know what I did. I know who I helped and how, and it was a huge deal. So probably the only reason it looks like more people aren't doing it is them putting barriers up and hiding. They know, don't let them see each other, or they'll get together and organize. So, yeah. They revealed who they are based on what they value. I don't think aliens would care about circumcising us unless they get circumcised, like reptiles, and they have a social divide where half of them get circumcised so they don't get any mates, and the other half get all the mates. Then they would think to do it to us because they would think that's normal. But I think it was men. Just who's here? Who cares about that much to lie and say the Creator told us? Men. So yeah, thanks for watching. Uncomfortable, horrible things to talk about. Wish I had other things to talk about. I do. I really wish I had anything else to talk about, but that's what's the news. Big undigested parts of our real lives. So, hey, don't trust monkeys with knives, man. That Fishers of Men thing is real. Hey, therapist is the rapist, right? So, the Son of God comes out of a printer. What time is it? Would they really go out of their way to tell you good news, or would they just say it's good news to lie to you? Right? Is bait on a fish hook a free meal? Are fish getting a free meal with fish? Do they put a free meal on a hook? Make sure the fish has had lunch, or is the fish lunch? So, gotta know what time it is.